Okay, class. So today I'm going to play a read aloud for you guys of a book called The House That Once Was. And I'm going to write some words on the board from the book that I want you all to think about after we hear the story, okay?
Okay.
So let me go ahead and play that for you and just listen. Enjoy. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Little bit.
At the top of a hill sits a house that is waiting. A house that once wasn't but now is beautiful. A house that once was painted blue. Tiptoe creep up the path that is hiding. A path that once welcomed, a path that is winding, a path that's now complete. At the front of the house that is waiting, there's a door that is not really open but barely. A door that is closed but not quite. A door that is stuck between coming and going. A door that once was painted white. Off to the side there's a window that's watching. A window that once opened wide. A window that now has no window at all. A window that says, I'm inside. Inside the house, it is silent but creepy. We're whispering mostly, but not really speaking. We whisper though no one would mind if we did it. The someone who once was is someone who was. The someone who once was is gone. Who was the someone who ate these for dinner? Who sat by the fire, who looked in his mirror? Who was the someone whose books have been waiting, whose bed is still made, whose pictures are fading? Who was the someone who walked down this hallway, who cooked in this kitchen, who napped in this chair? Who was the someone who left without packing? Someone who's gone, but is still everywhere. Was it a man with a big beard and glasses? Who would look out the window and dream of the sea? Or a woman who painted all day in the garden? Portraits of squirrels while sipping iced tea. Was there a cat who would sleep by the fire? Or a girl who would twirl to her records and sing? A boy who built planes and drew nightly of light? A baby, a cowboy, a queen, or a king? Why did they leave here, and where were they going? Did they run off and not say goodbye? Were they shipwrecked and now live on an island, wearing coconut clothes with a pineapple tie? Or maybe they took off and headed to Paris, where they paint by the river and eat lots of cheese. Or what if they're lost and they're wondering why? Maybe they can't find a set of houses. And maybe the house is still waiting there for them, waiting to hear their key turn in the door, waiting for voices to bounce down the hallway, waiting for someone to tell them sweet of them. Or maybe it's love to just remember stories of someone who will never know. And maybe it looks like it out there in the forest with the trees coming in where they refuse to go. So back through the window we climbed as we wander, back down the path that is tangled with the wind. Back to the house where our dinner is waiting, back to a home that is cozy and warm. Deep in the woods, house, just the house that once was, but now isn't a home.
Okay. And so can someone raise their hand and tell me anything that they noticed about these words? Anything that might be similar or that they have in common? Yes.
They have in common, they both are different because they have ings and they have eds.
That's right. So as you can see, these words here have ing, and these words here end in ed. And so today we're going to be learning about the suffixes ed and ing. We're going to learn how to add them to words, what they mean, and how to use them in sentences. So, who knows what a suffix is? Raise your hand if you are familiar with suffixes. Okay. Well, a suffix is a letter or group of letters that is added to the end of a root word that changes its meaning. Do we know what root words are? Thumbs up if you know what root words are. What is a root word?
Root word?
A root word.
It's a word in a sentence.
Well, a root word is a basic word that has no prefix or suffix. It's a word that can stand by itself. It's sometimes called a base word or a keyword. And so basically a suffix would be a group of letters we would put on the end of a regular word by itself that would change its meaning. So one of the suffixes we're looking at today is going to be ing. And so does anyone know or have any idea what ing means? Yes.
Used to express the present tense of words.
That's right. It's used to express the present tense. Are we all familiar with what present tense is? It is something that is happening when? If it's the present tense, it's happening right now. That's right. And so if something's happening right now, we will add ing to the end of that. The other suffix we're looking at today is going to be ed, and that is used to,
In the past.
that's right, to describe something that has happened in the past. And so right now, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some phonics rules that we can use when we're adding these suffixes to our word. And I'm also going to go ahead and give you all a copy of the vocabulary that we just looked at so you can put in your journal and save for it and reference later if you need help with that. Okay. So, the first phonics rule we're going to be looking at is going to be the just add rule. So, when adding a suffix to a root or base word, we would just add the suffix. So if there is already a root word, for example, walk, we would just add the ed at the end because it's already a word. Okay? And so that's the just add rule. And as you can see here, we have some examples for helping. Help is a word by itself. So all we have to do is add ing, and that will change that word to what? Past or present tense?
The past.
Past?
Right now.
Present. And how do we know that that's right now? What about that word, helping, right here, tells us that it's happening now? Yes.
Present means you're doing it right now.
Yes, present means we're doing right now. But what about this word tells us that this is happening now? Yes.
It's happening now because it has an ing, and ing is doing it right now.
That's right. The ing is telling us that it's happening now. So remember this rule, the just add rule. When you have a word that's a word by itself, you don't have to do anything but add the suffix, which would be either ing or ed in this case.
It's in the past or right now.
Yes, depending on if it's the past or right now. So our next rule we're going to look at is going to be the just one, double the fun rule. And so with this rule, we're going to have to know the difference between our vowels and our consonants? Who here can tell me what a vowel is? Raise your hand if you know what a vowel is. Do you? Go ahead. What is a vowel? Anyone that can help out? Okay, that's fine. So a vowel is going to be our letters that are A, E, I, O, U. Does everybody remember that? Good job. So if those are our vowels, then what would our consonants be? Sometimes why? But what would our consonants be if those are vowels? The consonants are what?
B, C, or D.
Good job. It's basically any letter that's not a vowel, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to need to keep that in mind when we're doing the just one, double the fun rule. Because what that rule says is that one syllable words, so do we all know what a syllable is?
Yeah.
When we have one syllable words, we will, and it's a vowel in the middle, a short vowel, which would be like the sound ah for A, right? And a consonant, which we know are any words that are letters that aren't vowels. Then we will just double the last consonant and add the suffix. So as you can see here with this example, we have the word hitting. The root word in hitting is what? The word without the suffix in hitting is the root word. And so what is the root word in hitting? Anybody?
E.
No, that's the suffix.
Oh, hit.
Hit. There we go. So with the root word hit, we can see here, we have the word hit. We have our short vowel here, which is the I, it, and then we have our consonant here, which is the T. So with the just one double the fun rule, we'll have to add another T and then add ing. Okay? So is everybody with me? Thumbs up if you got it. Okay. Good, good, good. Right now we're just watching, and we'll put it in your notebooks in just a second. And so let's talk about our last rule that we're going to have today. It's going to be the silent E rule. And so when a root or base word ends with the silent E, we'll have to drop that E before adding our suffix of ing or ed. So we see here with, and I'll actually do an example here for you. I'm going to use the word love, okay? So with this word, we see we have a silent E at the end, right? So we know we have to drop that E and then add our suffix. If we want to change this word to past tense, which suffix will we use?
E.
E what?
D.
Ed. That's right. So we would then write the word L-O-V. We drop the E, and we're going to add the E-D, and that's going to give us our past tense loved. And we can do the same thing with the present tense. We would drop the E, and what will we add to make it present tense?
Loving.
ing. That will give us loving. Good job. So that is the silent E rule. And so I know that these rules are kind of hard to just remember off the top of your head. So I'm going to go ahead and actually give you guys a copy of this to also put in your notebook, okay? Now I'm just going to go ahead and do a few more examples of how to add these suffixes to words and use them in a sentence, okay? So the first word that I'm going to use is going to be watching. And these are words that came from the story that we just read. And so the word that they gave us, can everybody see that, or I can't really see? Can you see that? Okay. So, watching. By looking at this word, I can tell that this is something that is happening in the present because of the letters ing that are at the end of the word. So, I know that this is present tense. Now, if I wanted to change that word to past tense, I would have to drop the ing, and I would have to use ed, because I know that ed means something that happened in the past. Therefore, the word would become watched. And I can use this in a sentence. She watched the cars pass by. So as you can see from this example, I could tell that this ing means that she was watching in the present. I changed it to be the past tense by doing what? It's past tense because I added what to this word? That's right. And so then I was able to use it in a sentence. She watched the cars pass by. So it's pretty simple, right? Let's do a couple more examples and then we will move on. So my next word from the book I'm going to use is leaning. So I'll think to myself, okay, how can I tell what this word means? By looking at the suffix ing. Well, I know that ing means that it's something that is happening right now. So this is going to be our present tense, right? Now I want to change this word to past tense. So what I would have to do is think, what would make this past tense? Well, I know that ed makes past tense, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add that on the end. And that'll give me the past tense leaned. And don't worry, you guys will have a chance to do this with me in just a second. So I'm just going to give you an example of a sentence that we could use with this past tense word. Sam leaned over the ledge. So this is something that, is Sam doing this now or is she doing this in the past? And how do you know that? That's right. Good job. Now I'm going to do one more and we will move on. And so the next word we're going to get from the book is going to be covered. So I can look at this and tell by looking at the suffix ed that this is happening when? In the past, right? So now I want to use the same root word and change it to present tense. And let me scoot that up. Is that better?
Yes.
So to change this to present tense, I'll have to think which suffix means happening now. And I know that's ing. So I add that to my word and now it becomes present. And to use this in a sentence, I can say she is covering, because she's doing it when? Now, right?
Now.
The seed with dirt. So that is how we can use the suffixes ed and ing to determine the meaning of root words. Because we know ing means present tense and ed means past tense. And then we can go ahead and use that in a sentence. Now I want you all to practice doing this with me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out this graphic organizer. And you all are going to help me to fill it out. Oh, thank you. So I'll wait a couple seconds just till you guys get your hand out and then we can begin. Okay, is everybody ready to begin?
Yes.
Great. So, who would like to raise their hand and tell me what the past tense would be for the first word here, close? Yes, the suffix would be ed, so what would the word be then? Close. That's right. So we would spell that C-L-O-S. We would have to do what? As a matter of fact, let me hand out your phonics rules. Okay, you have your phonics rules. So refer to the phonics rules and tell me what happens when we have a silent E at the end. What do we have to do before adding that suffix? Yes.
Take it away.
Yes, we drop it and then we drop the E, add the suffix, which we just said was ED. Good job. So who wants to raise their hand and tell me the present tense? David?
No.
Closing? That's right. And how did you know that that was the right word? Just a second. Let's give David a chance to answer it. Because it has what? There you go. ING. And so, Alondra, can you use tell me a sentence that we can use the past tense word, closed? Good job. The door is closed. And make sure you guys are filling this in on your graphic organizer as well to refer to later.
Is that a D? Yeah.
Yes, D. The door is closed. Does everybody have that written?
No.
Okay, thumbs up when you're ready, okay? Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, well you can continue to write it down. We're gonna go ahead and move on, and it's up on the board so you can see it and write it down. So, Donovan, can you give me a sentence using the present tense of the root word close? So our present tense would be closing. Can you give me a sentence using that word? Donovan? Do you need a phone a friend? Go ahead.
She is closing the door.
That's right. She is closing the door. So go ahead and write that in your chart. Good job. So I'll give you a few seconds to write that down and we'll move on to the next word. Thumbs up when you have it written.
The first one
The second one.
Bless you.
I'm gonna wait for most of our thumbs to go up and then we'll move on. Okay, good. So, Ryan, can you give me the past tense for our root word wait? Ryan? If you need help, phone a friend. What was that? Waiting or waiting? Is that going to be for the past tense? We said wait.
No.
Waited, that's right. Sorry, I thought you said waiting. So we know that waited is past tense for this word because what? What makes that past tense? Yes. Go ahead.
Waiting.
No, what makes this word the past tense word? What did we add that makes it past tense?
I'm waiting for lunch.
What letters did we add that makes it past tense?
ED.
ED. He said that what we added was ED, and that's what makes it past tense. Do we all agree? Thumbs up if you agree. Good job. So, Brian, can you give me the present tense for this word, wait?
Waiting.
Waiting. And how do you know that that's the present tense? ING. Do we agree with Brian?
Yeah.
Good job. That is correct. It is the ING that makes it present tense. Now, who would like to give me a sentence using the past tense waited? Someone different. You can go ahead.
I'm waiting at the door.
That's a good one for waiting, but we need a past tense. So past tense is what? That's right. So what is our sentence going to be for past tense?
Wait at the door.
Not quite. Go ahead and choose a friend that can help you with their hand up.
Hopefully. Raining.
Raining. We need a sentence using the word waited.
Waited.
Give them a chance to answer, and then we'll pick something different.
Waiting outside.
You're waiting outside. That's a good one for the present tense, but we're looking for the past tense with ed. So, Nathan, go ahead.
I'm waiting for my mom.
Waiting or
I'm
wait?
waiting for my mom.
I waited for my mom.
Right.
Good job. And this was something he did when? Was it something he did now or in the past? That's right. I waited for my mom. Now, who gave me that good ing? Josue, what was that waiting one that you said?
I'm waiting at the door.
I am waiting at the door. Good job. So do we all agree that this is something he is doing now? Waiting at the door, right?
Yes.
Good job. So let's go ahead and move on to our last example. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to write that down.
What's the last one?
I'll give you a couple more seconds to write that down and put your thumbs up when you are done.
I did.
I'm going to wait for most of the thumbs to go up before we move on. Just a few more. Are we good? Thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Okay. So, Melissa, can you give me the past tense for paint using our suffixes? That's right. Painted. So, Melissa says painted is the past tense. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Thumbs up if you agree. And what makes this, Brian, what makes this word past tense? The ed, right. Good, you guys are really getting this. So, now I would like, Jeremiah, can you please give me the present tense for this word, paint?
Painting.
That's right. Painting, I'm sorry. Jeremiah says painting is the correct word for the present tense. We all agree?
Yes.
All right, now who wants to give me a sentence to go with our past tense? Melissa, go ahead. We're looking for our past tense word, which is painted, right? I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you. If you need to phone a friend, you can. You painted your shirt. So I painted my shirt. Good job. Can we all agree that that's a good sentence using painted in past tense?
Yes.
So who wants to go ahead and do our last one? It's going to be the present tense for painting, a sentence. Go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
I'm painting my wall for my new building.
Good job. I'm painting my wall for my new room.
That's a good sentence.
That's a very good sentence, right? Can we all agree on that? That's a good sentence, right? So go ahead and take a moment to finish filling these in. And while we do that, I'm just going to ask you all a few questions just to reiterate what we've just talked about. So in this sentence, how do we know this is something that happened in the past? Raise your hand if you can tell me. That's right. And so if we changed this to ing, then what would happen to that word? What would that new word be? Would it be something that's still happening in the past or in the present? If we change ed to ing. That's right. It becomes something that's happening right now. So why is it important to know what these ed and ing means when we look at words? Can anyone tell me that? Why it's important to know? Yes.
It's important to know so you can write sentences for people that need to know if you're doing something right now.
That's right. Because it tells you, am I doing it now or is it something that was done later? Good job. So what do you think is the most important thing to know about what we just learned about ed and ing?
So you could talk to people if you're saying, I'm waiting for my mom right now.
That's right. And they know when you're doing it. They know it's happening right now. So, is everybody finished with this chart?
Yes.
No? Okay, I'll give you all a couple more seconds. And while you guys do that, I'm going to go ahead and pass out our next activity. You guys are doing a great job. And make sure that you only get one and that Ms. Golden didn't give you more than that. Huh? Yes, you have seen this before. Yes. I believe you did not application. But just wait and I will get you all started on that. Does everybody have one of these?
Yes.
And is everybody done with this chart? Okay, great. So, for our next activity, we are going to be completing this spelling worksheet by ourselves at our desk. And so what you will do is you will complete this chart at the top by filling in the correct word using the correct suffix for past and present. Then when you're done with that, you'll go down to the bottom and you will complete the sentence frame by using the word in parentheses and adding the correct suffix to it to complete, that best completes the sentence. Okay? So when you guys are ready, go ahead and start on that and we'll talk about it in a couple minutes, okay?
I can start it?
Yes, you can start and you can look at that. And while you are all doing that, I'll come around and see what you're working on. guys are doing a really good job with this. You're doing a great job. And you guys, you can look at your phonics rules that I passed out to, or Miss Brown had passed out to you all. And while you guys are doing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and hand out the vocabulary that you can keep in your journal to reference later. Finish with this, go ahead and complete this. And just give me a thumbs up when you're finished, that way I can know when we're ready to move on. Full, it's a place, like city. So it's basically saying, you know, there's the word live. Thank you. And tell them that that's where you live, but what tense did you use? Did you use ED or ING? Alright. Okay, so just behind the ones. That was this looks like that. But they can find it. And that's also the word. Okay, so basically what you have to do is you use this word in parentheses and you want to add the correct suffix to this word that will complete the sentence. Yes, so like sound and mark are blank right now. So you want to say this they are what? Using tape a nest. Salmon marker tape the nest. They have ways to use salmon marker to tape the nest. So you would fill that in, and you would do the same. Add ed or ing, ed or ing. So you decide whether you're adding ed or ing to each word to fill in that sentence. Take, you would write taking like what you just said right there. And so you would do the same for the rest. The word is right there, and use your phonics rules. So when you have a silent E, what do? It's right here. Phonics rules are right here. But the word is spelled right here already. Take. So just use your phonics rules for the silent E to write out that one. Are you almost finished, you guys?
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay, you're finished.
Now you need three. It's just the hug.
Oh, yeah. I think you got it now, right?
Hug.
When you right there? No, nothing. These are just blue and red. What is that? Blue or blue? You can get the blue out when you're ready. Okay, so this word is great, right? So was Tom was, we're either gonna end with E or ing. So was he raped the lawn? Tom was raped the lawn. Does that sound good? So it's not P-E-D, try it with ing. Tom was raped the lawn. Does that sound good? You're doing a good job adding the ing, but look at your phonics rules for the silent E. This is silent E, right? We don't say racket, we say rape, right? And that's silent. So we gotta look at the silent E rule, and that'll tell us how to spell it. Because it says here when it has a silent E, you drop the E before adding ing. Okay, just a few more minutes, and then we'll go over what we have. Do you like give presents? Do you like giving presents? So just say the word to yourself, and if it doesn't sound good, then probably not. So she likes it. Yes. Yes. And we're getting ready to go ahead and go over it as a class. Okay, and so we're running out of time. So what I'm going to do is go over this. So Tom was, is it, like I said, was raped, sound good? Tom was raped the lawn? It says rape in front. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So either add an ed or ing to the end. So it's either rape. Raping. There you go. There you go. We only have a few more minutes left before we're gonna have to go over this. So try to finish it up. And then we're gonna glue that in as well. Maybe, I don't know, you have to decide. You okay over here? What is the problem? Okay. Miss Brown comes back, we'll let her know. It is 150. Okay, well, if it doesn't hurt that much, just try your work, okay? We'll focus on this, we'll finish this later, just start this one, okay? This is needing to be turned in. The intake, got it. So when you're done, I can go, Hi. Let me see, maybe a piece of tape might work for that. this is independent work, so you're gonna have to. This is cake.
I put baking.
Good
I
job.
am baking the cake.
Good job. That's That's right. Go ahead and complete your work because I'm gonna take it up soon, and you're gonna get a grade for it. And if it's not done,
I'm going to find it. Can I get it?
you won't get a good grade.
Give us a 90, that's
Okay,
all.
good.
No, give us a 70.
Up.
You could give us a 70 or 80 or a 60 or a 50. Give us a 50.
Give you a 50.
Yeah, we want a 50 again.
Okay. You're done? Thank you. Who else is done so I can come around and get your paper? Thank you. That is one for you, please. Thank you. Are you finished? Thank you. Okay, are you finished? Oh, we already did. Anyone else finished with their work and needs me to come pick it up? Yes, we're trying to take it. Trying to be innovative over here. Okay, so. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go over this together and then we will move on. Okay. So, for the past tense of play, what did we get? Someone raise their hand and tell me what the past tense for play is. Played, that's right. And the present tense? Playing. What did we get for the past tense? Invade. Back here? I'm sorry, I can't hardly hear you. For what's the past tense for invade? Invade what? Invaded. And the present tense for invade? Invading. Make sure you raise your hand. All right, the past tense for hug. Hug. That's right. And we're going to do 2 G's because we're going to follow our just one double the fun rule, right? And present tense. What do we got? Hugging. Good job.
I want to do one of it.
You can't do all of them. We got to give others a chance. So past tense for chuckle. Who wants to give that to me? Melissa. Chuckle. That's right. Chuckle. And present tense? Chuckling. Good job.
Good one.
You guys are doing great. So, plan. Brian? Plan. That's right. And the present tense? Planning. Good job. So I can see you guys are really getting this. Now let's move down to the sentences at the bottom because we don't have much time. So, for this, for A, Sam and Mark are blank a nap. What did we get? Raise your hand. Okay, Melissa, go ahead. Taking. That's right. Tom was blank the lawn. Brian? Raking. That's right. I am blank a cake.
Bake.
I am baking. That's right, baking. Do you like blank presents? Giving? That's right. Do you like giving?
I know all of them.
And you notice with these words, they all have what at the end? Silent what? Silent E. So we had to do what? What did we do with that E? We dropped the E, add ing. Good job. So, I am blank in whole. Living. Good job. Miss P was blank her cat. Car. Yes, driving her car. I was blank to see you soon. Melissa?
I was hoping.
That's right, I was hoping. I am blank because I was told off.
I'm not getting it. Totally not.
I am blank because I was told off.
I was moping.
Moping. Good job.
I got confused.
That's okay. The ground was blank.
It was sloppy.
Sloping. Was it sloping or what?
Sloppy.
Sloped? Really, I think probably in that case, anyone might go. It was sloped or sloping. But we'll go with sloping, okay?
Yes. Yay.
Which I don't know. Is the wizard blank his wand?
Wave.
Waved? Is the wizard waved his wand or what?
Waving.
Waving? Good job, you guys. Good job. And so today we've learned what the endings ed and ing mean and how to add them to words and use them in a sentence. So can someone tell me what they think is the most important thing that they learned about this today? Melissa? Ed and ing what? What do they mean? Ed means what? It happened when? Show me with your hand. Right, and ing when?
Right now.
That's right. Does anyone else have anything important that they learned today they want to share with the class?
No,
Okay, good. So, to complete our lesson, I would like you to complete an exit ticket. I will write 3 words on the board, and you'll get to choose your word. Then I'm going to want you to choose just one word, give me the past and the present form of that word, and use both of those words to write a past tense sentence and a present tense sentence. And did you hand those out? Okay, here are your, and you'll do that on this strip here. Oh, no, it's okay. So go ahead, and I'm going to put the words up in a second, and you can choose which one you want. And does someone have a question?
No, I already.
Okay, give me just a second. Here you go. So this is going to be your exit ticket from this lesson. Yes, exit ticket. You can write it with whatever you have, whatever you like. And I just have to put the 3 words on the board, and then you can begin. So when I do that. And so let's, and the 3 words will be, you can choose clap,
Clap. I clap my clap.
laugh, or let me think. What can our 3rd word be? Any suggestions? Play? Okay, play. There you go. So you can choose from these 3 words, pick one, and I want you to write under the root word, write the word you chose. The root word is the word that you chose out of the 3. So it's either going to be clap, laugh, or play. Choose your root word and put it under there. This is something you have to do yourself. Actually, I can't do it because it's an individual assignment. Sorry. Yes, write down your root word. It's either going to be clap, laugh, or play. Then under the past, write the word with the past tense suffix added.
Oh, like ing or ed?
Either ing or ed. Then under present, you will write the present tense with either ing or ed. And the last thing you'll do is write your past tense sentence and your present tense sentence. And when you're done, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And I'll come and get that from you.
In the past? Wait, so we do past.
Present, you're either going to add ing or ed, depending on which one is the past, which one's the present. you have a pencil, just erase if you mess up, or you can scratch it out and write it under. Okay, do your last two sentences. And remember, once you're done with your exit ticket, give me a thumbs up, and I will come pick it up, and that will conclude our lesson for today, okay?